Nick makes me feel a way that I've never felt before.
Warning, I messed up the audio 2 times today. I give up. If you don't want to listen, it'll be fixed next week. Thank you. Hey everyone, welcome to DudesWatch The Bachelor, Episode 9, Fantasy Suites Part 1 with Nick Byer. Here at DudesWatch, we're dudes that watch The Bachelor and give our fresh takes. You can find the show as a podcast and a video cast. Search SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube to find us. We're part funny, part insightful, but mostly dude. We have 2 personalities on this show. I'm Reed Stiles, and typically I'm joined by my co-host, Dave Neal. Now you might be wondering, where's Dave? This is totally my fault. Today, about 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, we recorded one of the hottest podcasts / videocasts we've ever made. And because of my attempt to do something a little different, I completely messed up the audio. So basically we have Dave's audio, and it's super quiet. But then you have my lines over the top where I'm laughing like an idiot because he's being so funny on top of that. So every time I try to increase Dave's volume to where you can hear it, you just get my idiotic laughter over the top. It's so disappointing. I've texted him several times and told him how sorry I was. He totally understands. It's just some part of the industry, part of what happens. So what you're going to get is a monologue. I actually went through and listened to all of Dave's tracks with my idiotic laughing. And I tried to recreate the takes. But don't worry, next week, 3-hour episode. We're going to give you a good podcast. And I'm going to try to get him to redo some of his takes that he had this week. We went way off script. We were just talking about random stuff because this episode was kind of lame. So, just so you know, Dave and I do this show because we like The Bachelor. It's fun to talk about. We have a good time. But the show is currently ad-free. So here's our ask. Click the subscribe button on iTunes and YouTube. Just right now. Just go ahead and do it. Alright. So, and once you've done that, we have 2 links either below in the YouTube descriptor, or if you click the iTunes logo, you can go to it. And the first is Dave Neal's Facebook page, and the second is DudesWatch Facebook page. This will give you no spam, just updates on when we release new content. So I'm going to apologize in advance once again, just get all the apologies out of the way at first. But my favorite clip of the night to kick off the show is very visual, so check it out on YouTube or Instagram. It's the final montage clip of Nick doing CrossFit in the tundra. Here it is. How I think the dialogue went. I hope I'm right. The producers asked Nick, they said, hey Nick, we're lacking 30 minutes or so footage of you. There aren't any CrossFit gyms here. We've already done the shower scene. You got any ideas? He said, guys, don't worry. I'm the Bachelor. I'm the one with the experience. Do you have an axe? I mean, it was ridiculous. I love the scene. Hope you did too. So I gave Dave 3 titles. I'm kind of doing this is my new shtick, is just coming up with episode titles and passing them by him first. Number 1, we've got the least dramatic show in Bachelor history. It's the truth. Number 2, we've got folding laundry. Love that. Number 3, we have O-face. Oh. So we actually went with the no O-face, number 3. Now we're on to Andy's date. I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep during this moment. I mean, aside from Andy just being a smoke show, and being obviously Nick's type, just a hot, headstrong brunette, she brought very little to the table. I also thought Nick was being his Mr. Politician self when he said, I may or may not sleep with these girls, I haven't decided yet, I don't know. Nick's a good guy, he's just trying not to make anyone mad, but he brought nothing to the table. This interaction didn't give us anything. I told this to Dave, and he basically went the total opposite and said he learned everything from this. First of all, that Andy's a smoke show, could easily be the Bachelorette again. She's that hot. Secondly, I didn't put this together. Nick made a reference to dumping all 30 girls. And isn't Andy single? So was this like foreshadowing them getting back together? I don't know. That was crazy. I had not even thought of that. So Dave had the fresh take there. I had to give him credit. All right, now we're on to the rose ceremony. So Nick came out and apologized for it being cold. Is he talking about his personality all season or the weather? That's nice of him either way. Basically, these location scouts are brutal. They go out there, they find these sick locations to do the rose ceremony. They have no regard for human life. And basically, these girls are standing out there in cocktail dresses for an hour. You know, hey, the links people go to find true love these days. I mean, I can understand. You know, you could just download an app on your phone, but some people want to stand out in the cold. So I wanted to start off with we lost Corinne, R.I.P. Corn. Hopefully you'll corn sitter Bachelor in Paradise. Let's hope so. But I wanted to give you Corinne's clip right here about wanting guys to treat her better.
I worship them and I love them and I care for them and I support them. I need that. So if someone feels that way about me, they can come and tell me and they can bring to go along with it. I'm done trying to impress these men. I'm going to be me. And whatever happens, happens. But I will never kiss up to a man ever again in my life.
So sad. Sorry, Corn. No, my first reaction was no. Your whole purpose was to hook up with Nick, and you're not going to get that. Like, no. I don't know about Corinne's rich. She's 24. She's cute. She's got the whole world in front of her. I'm not worried about her. Could she have done something differently? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think there's anything to take away except that she's 24. She's young. She's got plenty to live for. And Nick's, look, he's 36. He's been on the Bachelor franchise on 4 different shows. So, she's going to do fine. I'm sure she'll jump into Bachelor in Paradise or find someone else immediately after the show. And also, like, if he's going to choose someone to false date for a full year or more, he's most likely going to choose these last 3 girls. So, they're super stacked. Good for Nick. Couldn't be happier with the final 3. I think any one of them is a great choice. And, you know, that just amps me up for Rachel being Bachelorette. Because obviously she's not going to win this. Alright, so we go on to Finland, more cold, and they say at the beginning only a few hours of sunlight exist each day in Finland. I gotta say, after this date with Raven, she may have given the country an extra hour. I mean, I thought it was a great date, and of course there had to be a cliffhanger, because we gotta know how it ends. But it was a cool country, the northern lights were neat. I mean, Dave and I decided that if there aren't Bachelor people in the shot, then it probably is just old footage, because they showed the northern lights over the house at the end of the episode. So I thought that was interesting. It's like they went out early, made sure the northern lights were there, made sure they got the cool shot. I thought Nick actually got real on this date. You know, it was the first time we really see him talk about real world stuff. You know, he's talking about ironing, he's talking about being independent, he's talking about the things he likes. He just seemed like he was a real dude. He ate breakfast in the morning just like the rest of us. And he didn't really check out. Like, normally he checks out during his conversations. He's like, you know, he tells him something serious, and they'll be talking like this. He says something serious. So I was impressed with Nick. Obviously, he likes Raven. Raven's a pretty cool chick. Dave does not like Raven. Dave does not think Raven's attractive, and his take was super hot on this one. So I'll save it for next week. You can come back and talk about it, but he doesn't think she's attractive at all. I completely disagree. I thought she looked great, but hey, you know what? She probably was the tannest person in all of Finland, to be fair. During their date, they talk about, you know, folding clothes and chores and stuff, and user Nick No Nicks on Reddit called me out and just said that how surprised this person was to find out that. So I wanted to bring up something. I was on the Reddit thread, and user Nick No Nicks mentioned how funny it was that Nick was surprised to find out Raven, a clothes retailer by trade, is good at folding clothes. Something that Nick does not like to do. I thought that was funny too. I like that she explicitly called him out, like, yeah, I fold 100 clothes a day. And then I also thought, to take it a step further, my thought was, it was funny that Nick would even think that he holds a candle to Raven's experience with wrinkle reduction. I mean, first of all of her clothes have to look good on the shelf. She's over here telling Nick, hey, if I give you a steamer, it's going to revolutionize your life. And Nick's like, no, you don't understand. I know all about getting wrinkles out from ironing. I mean, dude, just concede. Just concede. Raven knows way more than you. And actually, when I brought this up to Dave, he's like, oh, man, I'm all about the steaming. Like, that's the way to go. Dude, teach me more. I just hang all my clothes while they're hot out of the dryer, and I don't ever have issues. And if something bad happens, I mean, look, the shirt's fine. I've been wearing it for hours. And if something bad happens, then I just bust out the iron. So I had no idea I was missing out on the steamer, but hey, learning more. Thanks for, dude, the things you learn through The Bachelor. You never know. Raven brings up that she's only had sex with one person. So I said, hey, let's sound off on this. Let's go deeper. Actually, Dave and I thought the exact same thing. Basically, we figured that she has had sex with more than one person, but that, yeah, this was probably her only, meaningful relationship when it happened, since they dated for 5 years, and Raven's not that old. So I thought this could be the ultimate scenario for old Nicky Poo. I mean, he doesn't have the pressure of taking her virginity, and basically, like, this guy wasn't that good at whatever they were doing. Like, she set the bar so low for Nick. Like, even if she doesn't reach whatever level she was hoping to, I mean, Nick's 36. He probably knows what he's doing. So let's go ahead and add that clip where she alludes to something that she hopes to happen in the fantasy suite.
Never made me orgasm. Lost for words.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. So.
Nick's response there, his reaction was total disbelief. Like, wow, I can't believe this person said that. She's never made the O finish before. I didn't read a lot from this. I think the bigger question is, how did Raven's ex react to seeing this on TV? Did he know? Did he know that this was not happening, or was Raven faking it the whole time? And this is complete news to him. I would have paid to be a fly on the wall and just seen his face. I bet his face was the exact same as Nick's, but he fell out of his chair, like just game over. Dave actually had a pretty good take on it. He thought it wasn't the guy's fault, because if this has happened for 5 years, Raven should figure out how to make that work and help her significant other do whatever she wants done. I mean, I agree with him. I think, obviously their relationship had a lot of immature moments and communication wasn't ultra strong, since obviously he's out there cheating on her. I think it's so funny. Raven's basically melted this ex completely on national TV. So I'm completely hoping that the allegations are true and that he deserved this roast, because, man, it could have been aired on Comedy Central. Just completely wrecked. So then this brought us into a discussion. We got way off rail. Basically, we started to decide if Nick is good in bed, which I haven't really thought about it, but my initial reaction is that, look, Nick's older, he knows what to do, he's probably had awkward nights, he's probably been with dead fish, he knows what, he probably knows his way around in that respect to some degree, but I gotta look at his past performance, man. First of all, Caitlin and Andy, we both hooked up with before they got to the finale, and they didn't choose him, so not sure what happened there. Then he also hooked up with Liz at the wedding for a one-nighter, and the next morning she wasn't just like begging to try it again. So, look, I don't know. I went with the past performance future indicator, so maybe he's not so great. Dave went the total opposite. He agreed with me that, hey, Nick's an older guy, he probably has experience. Yeah, he's a CrossFit model, all that stuff, and he definitely knows what to do. So he would just knock it out of the park with Raven. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Luckily, Chris Harrison chimed in. We're always waiting for that. So let's hear what Chris Harrison had to say about the whole thing.
But will Raven's date come to a satisfying end?
For it to be cut short in the fantasy suite would really be heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's best-selling author, host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but still not top tier enough to prevent these kind of cheese dick lines. I was absolutely impressed by this line. I just rolled my eyes. I was like, Chris, no. CH, you're better than this. So I just wanted to touch on Nick. If next week is Rachel's last, Nick left the bar so low for her as the Bachelorette, which is a huge positive, because I'm sure she's going to be great. She seems so cool. And if even her season is like middle of the road, like JoJo's, or maybe a little better, it's going to be better than Nick's, because Nick's was so weak. I mean, basically, Rachel, we think, is going to have a pretty diverse set of guys. It'll be something a little different. And the fact that she's not very good at social media, which I found on her Instagram page. Look, she has things going on in her life. She's not going to brunch every day like, oh, let me get a picture of this mimosa, or Dave brought this up, you know, she's not going to these clubs and saying, hey, $50 a person for a carafe of mimosas, and you can hang out with the people who got voted out week 5 of Bachelor. She's not doing all this. Look, her profile says lawyer by day, bachelor by night. Hey, I love it. She's got a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so I can't wait for the women tell all. Dave and I made some predictions, but I think more importantly, look, it's an important time in our America's history. We've got so much stuff going on, so much fake news out there, but I'm ready to hear more about the important stuff, the important issues. That's right, I'd like to hear more about Jaden Tanner's wedding. So excited to hear more. So we have a prediction, the number of Jaden Tanner's wedding name drops is at 7. We have a prediction that the words emotional intelligence will be said twice. Raquel sightings, we have 0, so we don't think she's going to make an appearance. Nick and Vanessa, we think are going to make it 13 months, and we think Vanessa's going to win. And we think there'll be at least 2 formal apologies that are cringeworthy. I don't remember who did it last year during JoJo's season, but I just remember thinking, like, I don't like this at all. Like, this is, maybe it was Chad. I don't really remember. And, you know, our formal rankings are Vanessa and Raven, final 2. We think it makes sense that Rachel gets voted out 3rd. We definitely think that Rachel's a great contender for being the Bachelorette. We're excited to watch her. And I'm so sad that I messed up the audio this week with Dave. So hopefully I captured some of his essence. I know I didn't deliver it as, you know, perfectly as he did, because literally I was laughing so hard at some of his takes that I just completely ruined the audio for the whole episode. So I've made a promise that next week it'll be perfectly produced and we can finish strong with 3 hours of content. So thank you for listening to DudesWatch The Bachelor with my guest. Oh, no guest. Sorry, Dave. Dave has his own YouTube show, though. I want to give him some plugs because he did sit down and talk with me. He runs his own Bachelor Notes, Dave Neal Actor, or just Dave Neal. You can find him. It's easy. If you haven't already, I'm begging you, subscribe on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube, whichever you use, and like our Facebook pages. And hey, get in this network. Send us some comments. Last week we had 1 comment was Genre Girl. I immediately responded. It was really funny. She had some great takes that I didn't even think about. And we're shooting for 5 comments this week. So please comment on our YouTube page, reach out, and looking forward to bringing you a huge episode next week. It's going to be so fun. So have